Welcome back. Here we are going into number 2 of the Complexion Perfection of how I do makeup for men. For my photo shoots, this was with the concealer, LM14. But today I am going to do more of foundation with the concealer, and we will be using LM14 from Pat McGrath, the Sublime Perfection Foundation. Don't know why I'm doing that. Don't mean to flip you off. Very water-based. Very, very runny. So, I think it will look well because I just shade matched it to my arm and you really can't tell where it is, which is nice. So, without further ado, first and foremost, let's prep and wake up the skin. And then we will just start to push this in and get on with the tutorial. So that is actually pushed in, and I just like to go over just a little bit with the primer. So I pulled this out because I thought it was empty, but there's plenty still. They're still doing construction. So let us go ahead and go into, there we go, there it is. Primer, the Sublime Perfection primer from Pat McGrath. No wonder why they probably just did a tube now. And I always like to do the primer under the eyes as well to help even out the texture so everything is where it needs to be. The faint scent of the rose, and this is so relaxing. Just press it in. Now, we are gonna go ahead and go into the Charlotte Tilbury's Vanish number 2 color corrector for the eyes, and just really begin to push that in. And I'm also doing this series just so I could get an idea of playing with complexion again to see if I still want to continue using what I have or what will ya, because there's so many new foundations on the market, so many new look at how that just brightens everything up, new revamping of the foundation lines within certain brands. So this is just to see how much things really have changed over time, and I've been doing makeup for 20 years, so a lot has changed, definitely, but it just seems like everything's being reused. All right, there we go. So that is on. Yeah, LM14 will definitely be a good color match. Vandaag. But in the height of summer, I'm like LM or M18 is how deep I get, and I go all the way to LM11. So that's how dark I can get. Actually, let me just go and press this in real quick with this. Next, I'm gonna go in with LM14 for concealer. And of course with this, just because I can. Right under the bags. And then going in with more of my dents. This is from Bare Minerals. When they launched their first like solid foundation powder. Yeah, that's how far back I go. Perfect. So just gonna use this to even everything out. And I love the fact that it's natural lighting because, as you saw in the picture from the last tutorial, this is quite an amazing time to be doing photo shoots for me because I love the natural lighting of the sun, because with this natural lighting you cannot hide anything. So going in, impacting motions, I guess you could say. And I've used this foundation quite a few times and concealer on quite a few of my photo shoots on my models, so it's actually, it photographs very well. I always ask how everything feels. See, look at how yellow that was really starting to look. So I wonder if you can see it on my arm. No. But like I said, this photographs beautifully. All right. Look at that texture of the skin. Now, foundation. LM14, give it a shake because it's heavily water-based. And I'm gonna go ahead and go on the back of my hand. I was like, should I just put it on like moisturizer? Going in with this brush. I'm just gonna use it a little bit on the forehead, not all over, but also mainly just here. Oh, that was one pump. Ooh, ooh la la. I don't know why, I just love the smell of the foundation. Really weird. I worry about myself sometimes. See, look at how it just looks a little off. But it drives me crazy because on photography, it looks phenomenal. Going in with one more pump. Don't squirt all over the place because I just did laundry. I'm just really building it up in certain areas. And of course, right into the neck. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna give this a few moments to really dry down and settle in, and then we will see where we go from here. This is where we are at. I am loving it. I completely forget how everything looks when it's all together. But of course, close up, it looks like I have makeup on because I have makeup on. Next, we're gonna go into highlighter. Last one I did a golden nectar, and I think this one I'll do Venus nectar, which I believe was a little bit more of like a beige pink type of highlighter. Golden nectar was obviously a little bit more golden with more peach undertone, I would say. Going in with my, I always use this for all my highlighters. And just brow bone highlight up into the terrace because I have so much retail space here. And just and I love this because no matter how much you add, it still blends into the skin seamlessly, which is what we always want. Oh, remember, whatever's left over on the brush, I just put here. Yeah, I can see a little bit more of that pinky beigeness to it. Without further ado, we are going to go into the highlighter, which was Bronze Dawn, I believe was the darkest. No, Desert Glow is what I did in the last one. So we will continue with the Desert Glow, and I think this one had a glow. So smart. And then, obviously, taking care of the real estate, the terrace. Oh, I swear. Huge forehead. And taking care of the other terrace. And like I said, I use bronzer to just obviously bring warmth to the face. Look at that hairdo. Bro. Warmth to the face to bring a little bit more shape, natural shape. Now that the foundation's starting to warm up to the skin, it's starting to look real nice. And here as well. And like I said, in the last video, I love doing the highlighter. See, they're still doing work on the road. Highlighter first, just so it's more in the background. And depending on the highlighter, I love highlighters that actually have a little bit more emulsion to it, I guess you could say. So it just blends into the skin a lot more, and it looks more like your skin, but more hydrated. So that is with everything. I think I went a little too ham on the bronzer, but without further ado, that is fine. Because we are going to take pictures, and I need it to show up. But I have this setting on cinematic, so I'm not too sure how cinematic this really is. And of course, a little bit down, whatever's left on the brush. And of course, to set everything in. It's starting to get hot. Brows is going to be the Brow Styler by Benefit. As usual, we get to see the before and after and in the process in real time of how everything looks. So, and of course the natural lighting starting to come in, which I am excited about. So for the shoots, I go a little bit more deeper with this. So this is number 6. I think in real life, I would probably do, what did I have? The brow gel, brow wall, whatever. I had it in 3.5 for everyday life, which was nice. And that looked more natural, especially in Douglas with the lighting in there, the bathroom lighting, the house lighting. It just made everything look a little bit more natural, which was good. So that is how I do brows. Because I actually pluck my brows to keep the shape rather than getting them done. Why get them done when I can do them myself? You know, because I'm integrating, so I got the korting, the gratis here in the Netherlands. All right, so gonna go ahead and wing it out, shape it out. And of course with the, okay, I need to turn on the fan or something because it's starting to get real hot on her. So this is literally how I do my tutorials or makeup for guys. This is with Pat McGrath. I think the next one I will do will be Charlotte Tilbury maybe, because I do the airbrush flawless foundation sometimes on my male models. That is like full coverage though. That is like, damn. And we are going to go ahead and set the face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, airbrush flawless. Oh, just get it so wet. But yeah, tutorial number 2 of the Pat McGrath. Don't need foundation on my lips. Why would I put foundation on my lips? I'm a boy. But yes, this is what it looks like. And of course, you guys will see the final edits at the end when I take pictures with my camera and stuff like that. But yes. And then, like I said, you guys will also see how I do it when I'm more clean shaven as well for models. But yes, this is the close-up. Texture. Yeah. She's looking real cute. What did I use today? LM Fortune is what we did. Like I said, I did not realize there was still that much primer in there. So that is actually really good. Could continue using that maybe. Because I also do love using the Milk Luminous Blurring Primer as well. And I am really still trying to embrace my curls. I still can't. Can't. I wish I had straight hair. I wish I had my husband's straight hair. He has beautiful straight hair, but he wishes he had my curly hair. And that is really nobody's business. But, all right, this is a number 2 tutorial. Of course, if you have these products, this is how obviously I would apply them and stuff like that. But for models, like I said, I would probably just keep it more just concealer, bronzer, a highlighter, a very, very natural looking highlighter that's more close to your skin tone. Becca had some amazing ones, but they're not anywhere anymore. I think Smashbox does have a few of their stuff. I have a few of their stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much you really need to do. And of course, from here, you could really get more into contouring the face for the photo shoot, depending on the shoot, what kind of style. But for more natural stuff, this is what I do. And to all my male models who I've already done a shoot with, you know how it goes. just looks so good on the skin. See you guys next tutorial.